It is Thursday, February the 9th, as the NBA season just rolls right along. We were last with you here at Betsafe on Tuesday. We hit 2 of our 3 bets on that night. That puts us 8-1 over our last 3 nights handicapping here at Betsafe, so continues to be a profitable season for us. We'll look to keep it going tonight. I'll be involved in 3 games once again. Why don't we go ahead and get right to them? Let's start in Orlando, where the Magic host the Philadelphia 76ers. Orlando, a 4-point favorite at Betsafe. 211.5 the total here. Now the Sixers have cooled off. They've now lost 5 straight games and playing the second night of a back-to-back here. They lost 111-103 to the San Antonio Spurs last night. So ordinarily that would be a team you stay far away from, right? A team that has dropped 5 straight and is playing the second night of a back-to-back. Well, this isn't ordinarily. That's because the Sixers are playing the Orlando Magic. Boy, it has gotten really ugly in Orlando. The Magic have dropped 4 of 5 and 16 of their last 21. Most of their roster has been mentioned in trade rumors over the past couple of weeks. They're clearly sinking and playing their worst basketball of the season. And tonight they might be without Aaron Gordon, one of their better players. Gordon had to leave Orlando's last game. That was a blowout loss to the Houston Rockets with a foot injury, and he is doubtful for tonight with a bone bruise in that foot. Philly will be without one of their main cogs as well in Joel Embiid, but the Sixers used to being without Embiid by now, and they have some capable replacements in Jahlil Okafor and Nerlens Noel. The main concern here for the Philadelphia 76ers, their backcourt. Those guys were not good last night. The starting backcourt of T.J. McConnell and Gerald Henderson combined for just 12 points, and Sergio Rodriguez, a major piece off the bench, just 1 for 7 shooting and scored just 2 points. But you know what? They're facing an Orlando Magic team here that really struggles defensively. As a matter of fact, the Magic have trouble on both ends of the floor. Orlando right now ranks 27th or worse in both offensive and defensive rating. Only the Dallas Mavericks average fewer points per game than the Orlando Magic. The Magic 29th in the NBA in points scored, and they've been even worse in that category lately. Fewer than 90 in 2 of their past 4 games. And you look at their last 10 games, they're averaging 2 points fewer than they have been throughout the season. And again, that season-long average already the next to worst in the NBA. What I'm saying is the Orlando Magic are playing their worst basketball of the season, and I don't think they should be a 4-point favorite over anybody right now, even a Philadelphia 76ers team that comes in here losers of 5 straight and on tired legs. I like the Sixers here tonight. Think they're just better than the Magic right now. Think we're going to see a better performance out of their guards tonight. And you know what? The Sixers have been getting some good performances out of their stretch forwards. They've been shooting the 3-ball well. Orlando struggles to defend the 3-point line. I like Philly +4 in this one. Moving on now to Charlotte, where the Hornets host the Houston Rockets. Houston, a 4-point favorite at Betsafe, 223.5 the total here. Now the Rockets still have the 3rd best record in the NBA, but they've hit a bit of a rough patch. Just 4-4 over their last 8 games, 2-6 against the spread in those last 8 games. Now look, we know what type of team this is. They try to outscore folks, and they usually do manage to outscore folks. A great offensive team. They get up and down as well as anybody. 2nd in the NBA in points scored behind only Golden State. But Houston, not a good defensive team. And really, you look at the lineup they have, they will never be a good defensive team as long as guys like James Harden, Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon get heavy minutes. And of course, those guys will get heavy minutes because they're some of their best players. Now, the Charlotte Hornets, they are a good defensive team. 5th in the NBA in opponent's field goal percentage, 9th in terms of points allowed. The Hornets had been playing really poorly, though. They had lost 7 straight games, but they finally managed to stop the bleeding with a win over the Brooklyn Nets a couple of nights ago. And good news, they'll be getting starting center Cody Zeller back for this one. Zeller has missed the last 7 games with a quad injury. The Hornets, much better team at home. They are on the road. 4 games below 500 on the season, but 16-10 at home. Look, I just have a feeling, the Houston Rockets, as we said, they've been struggling lately, 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games. Not sure exactly what's wrong with them. Tough to put your finger on it. I mean, they're a bad defensive team, but they've been bad defensively all season. Just not shooting it quite as well as they were early in the year. And here they face a team that is really good in terms of opponent's field goal percentage and is also really good at home. I have a feeling the Hornets might be a sneaky play here as a 4-point home dog. I am on that side of it. Final game I'll be involved in on this Thursday, February the 9th. What about the Boston Celtics going out to Portland to face the Trailblazers? Portland just a 1-point favorite at Betsafe, 220.5 the total here. You know, I say Portland just a 1-point favorite. Probably a surprise to most folks that the Blazers are favored at all. After all, the Celtics have a much better record, and they had won 7 straight games prior to a 108-92 loss in Sacramento last night. But you know what? That loss, I saw most of that game. That loss had the look of one of those games where, you know, it finally, something good had finally come to an end for the Celtics, and the dam sort of broke. They could not stop the Kings last night, and here they travel to Portland to face a Blazers team with as good a tandem of guards as there are in the NBA. Talking, of course, about Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. Those guys are awesome, and this is a good matchup for them. That's because as good as the Celtics are in certain spots, and as good as their diminutive point guard Isaiah Thomas has been this season, and Thomas deserves the MVP talk he's been getting lately. I mean, just an incredible offensive player, but he plays almost no defense. I mean, you can't help it, a guy of his size, but Thomas, not a good defensive player. And, of course, the Celtics still without their best perimeter defender in Avery Bradley. So, look, I think they're going to have real trouble handling Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. The Blazers put points on the board, especially at home. They've scored 105 points or more in 9 of their past 10 home games. Celtics playing the second night of a back-to-back here. We mentioned they took a 16-point loss in Sacramento last night. I know they're better than the Blazers. I know they have a better record, but second night of a back-to-back in Portland. This a tough spot for Boston, I believe. I think the Blazers will pull out a win here in a high-scoring game. I do lean towards over 220.5. There you have it. Those are my thoughts for this Thursday, February the 9th. I like the Philadelphia 76ers +4 in Orlando. I like the Charlotte Hornets as a 4-point home underdog against the Houston Rockets. And I like the Portland Trailblazers -1 at home against the Boston Celtics. Folks, I wish you best of luck no matter what you decide to do tonight, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests. Enjoy the games.